Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Today another scenario by HiBACONBOMB. We're continuing the defense of Russia. Comrade Admiral, you've done well to defend Vladivostok, but now we must turn our attention to the west. The British have broken through the blockade and are now threatening the city of Leningrad. You must defend the city at all costs. We have limited forces in the area, and you must hold out until the Arctic fleet arrives. The city's anti-air defense and our mighty air force has cleared the skies, so there should be no threat from enemy aircraft. Good luck, Admiral. Well, there might not be a threat from enemy aircraft, but we do have a substantial threat against our lonely battleship of 2 battleships and a battlecruiser. If that is not enough, then we're also going to be trying to dodge torpedoes from, well, potentially the heavy cruisers, light cruisers, and destroyers. It's going to be an interesting party. The AI is also going to have a couple of transports. These will signify a couple of aircraft carriers that are in the region. Your battleship must have low range, no faster than 30 knots, 30, 16-inch guns housed in 3 triple turrets, and 2 must have a quintuple launcher. The amount of ships that remain at the end of the mission will affect later scenarios. So let's throw together a Russian battleship. Now we can make this thing really quite sizable at 69,000 tons, or go with a modernized Dreadnought for 45. So I think the choice here is pretty easy. I need to make sure that this thing is big, heavily armored, and has a lot of firepower. Of course, no bigger than the 16-inch guns, as specified in the scenario, but that should not be a problem. That should be sufficient firepower. I'm considering going with quite a lot of secondaries. There are quite a few smaller ships around, and if I can get rid of those quickly, that would be lovely. So let's set the secondary tower up. It still feels a bit off. Like you have a bit more structure, or a bit more space on the stern than you do have on the bow. But we'll just have to make this work. 16-inch guns housed in 3 3X turrets. So 3 turrets is what I'm reading that as. So 16-inch, let's say triple turrets. ABX. How far could I push those back towards the conning tower? Because I'm usually pretty far forward with my displacement, but this one... Hold on, if I put that one on the barbette, I can have secondaries there. So you go over there. I'm going to push this one back out. Yeah, it doesn't want to go further than that. It's one of the older hulls, and it is not quite as accommodating as the other newer hulls that have all sorts of pinpoints where you can set those turrets up. Let's go with sonar 1. I want auto loaders, and I want semi rotating turrets, so advanced hydraulics. High TNT, heavy shells, and then I still have 9,000 tons left to put on a funnel and secondaries. The ship is supposed to be no faster than 30 knots, and I think I'm going to do just that. Because at 30 knots, I'll be able to quite quickly decide when and where to engage against the enemy. And that hopefully will also allow me to bring my secondaries into play. Induced boilers is 93.9, that's good enough. If I go to 100, that is plus 50%, so that's it could be worth it. Unfortunately, you cannot put a mega funnel there. That's also 100. This is 825. It's not as good as I'd hoped. This is 85. This is 100. This is 75. Fine. We'll run the large one and we'll go with induced and oil. There we go. Auxiliary diesel engine to make sure damage repair is a bit faster and faster rudder shift. Our speed is 30 knots. Our turning circle is 858. Not great. That could pose issues, or could cause issues with maneuverability later. We have some slots for barbettes over there. I want a tall barbette for small guns. And the small gun is going to be, let's see, this is all Mark 4? It's all Mark 4, excellent. Mark 4 8-inch double barrel. This is going to provide... Actually, not there. Here. Really? Are you going to be like that? Here, then. Come on. Okay, those turrets are slightly too high. They're too tall for the position that I want them in. I can put them there, but I really seriously doubt that they'll rotate enough. Yeah, they're going to collide with that turret. Or with that barbette for the secondary. So that's not really an option. And if I put them underneath, is that going to work? Yes, that'll work, and that'll also fix my weight offset, or at least somewhat. And then I guess 6 inchers? Yeah, 6 inchers do fit there, but not here. What if I go for 5ers all around? 5ers work. Mostly. Can I put 8s here? If I remove that... Yeah, these are a bit more liberal. Oh, come on. Those 8 turrets, the 8-inchers are just too tall. Fine. We'll just throw down a bigger, taller barbette here. A very tall superimposed barbette. There you go. And then the 8s should be fitting. Really? Still. That's the tallest barbette I can put down. Fine. Enlarged superimposed barbette? Nope. Alright, no secondaries there. Standard. 16-incher there and there. And we'll just have to run another 5. Pull this thing a bit closer. There we go. 0.3 weight offset. That's excellent. Secondary could be better if I build a few more 3-inchers, because, well, they have some slots here. But that's just about the extent of it. What else can I put on there, I wonder? Not a 12. It really is for a secondary. No, actually, you can put a 9-incher on there. Okay. Well, on the other hand, I would like to be engaging big ships at range with the 16s, and this does count as a main armament. Alright, back to the 888. Okay, about 3,000 tons, a little less than that. That should be sufficient to bolster the armor belt and make sure that the ship is a bit better protected from range. Let's focus a bit more on deck armor. Let's see if I can get to maybe 19 on the turrets. Lots more on the belt extended, if I can muster it. These things aren't nearly as well protected as I would like. What if I drop down in speed a little bit? Let's say 28 knots. Because that gives me another 2,000 tons of armor that I can tack on. Let's see if I have everything else that I want. Maybe boost the barbette armor a bit more. Conning tower. Let's put that 20-inch. Secondaries are going to be fairly important. The ship is not really as much of a brawler as I would have hoped. And that has to do with the main tower causing the width of the ship to be limited. So these turrets, well, actually I'm hoping very much that they'll turn. Kind of doubting they will. Let's forego these and put these closer to the edge of this ship. It's going to cause a little bit more roll. Ooh, I really hope that'll turn. We still have a slight aft weight offset. Let's pull this turret forward a notch. 1.1, 0.3. There. Alright, more armor. Turret armor is okay. Deck armor could do with a bit more. But I'm actually hoping to use that 28 knots to get into range more and then brawl them a little. Oh shit, there's still something I still need to put on. Must have quintuple torpedo launchers. Whoops. Where am I going to fit that? At the expense of that one. Forward firing. And then... this would be a fairly nice place. But they interfere with the secondary tower. So just there then. These are going to be fairly standard. 21 inchers, electric driven. And hopefully that will add to my firepower. A little bit less belt armor. Yeah, that ought to do it. Now this is about the defense of the Leningrad, or of Leningrad. So this is going to be the Lenin. Lenin is going to come back and defend his own town. Well, back. I'm not even sure he was dead at that point. Probably not. Turret armor. There. Okay, let's put this thing to battle. We have a couple of ships to sink. To battle. The British have been spotted. They're about to invade Leningrad. But fortunately, our ships are here to intervene. Let's see what our ships are. We have the heavy cruisers Sviatoslav and Victor. They are armed with standard bulkheads, 9-inch guns. 4 of those, no torpedoes, but a few secondaries. Turning circle is decent. Sonar 3 will enable me to detect torpedoes early. Good. Your speed, 34 knots. That's excellent. I want you to start screening for my battleship. Light cruisers, Admiral Bukatov and Dmitry Pozharsky. Light cruisers with minimum bulkheads. Glass cannons with 5-inch guns. Not even, well, actually quite a few. 7 turrets, giving me 14 guns. And moderate torpedo launchers, 12.6, 20-inch. Minus 75% visibility. Good. I want you guys to follow the the battleship. And then we got the Zheleznyakov and Dobrovolets destroyers armed with 5-inch guns. 3 single barrel turrets. A single 3-inch gun. And a couple of 21-inch torpedoes. And these are weird boats. Considering the range, 14.8. I think it's best to just push these into the enemy. And make sure that we drop off those torpedoes. My torps range out to 12.7, so they are not yet in range. Let's angle a little bit and see what the Brits have. The British battleships. These guys are packing big guns. They're 8 18-inch guns each. Backed up by a whole slew of secondaries. 8s, 7s, 6s, 4s and 2s. Not really something you want to get close to in a destroyer. Their battlecruiser, slightly behind the battleships, but not exactly small in guns either. This thing has 12 20-inch guns. Oh dear. That's going to be uncomfortable. We're going to try and make some holes in the British battleship first. And I suggest not getting too close. I'm a bit torn between either going closer in and hoping that my belt armor is going to be more protective, or doing something a bit the opposite and keeping at range and hoping that steadily I'll be able to just wear them down. But my 16s are far inferior to what they can bring, and rather to what they will bring to the battle. Because they got 8 18s and another 12 20s. So that is a lot more firepower than I can possibly bring to bear. I guess we're going to have to use the destroyers in an offensive role. I mean, as much as is possible. And try and torpedo them out of existence. But already the torpedoes, or sorry, the destroyers are attracting a lot of attention. Their battleship's heading that way, so this one's going to turn as well. You guys need to come about. Hard to starboard. Secondaries on that, insofar as we have them in range. They can do 16, but that's just the 8 on the stern. Oh! Ho, ho. Huge hit on the Victor. That was an 18-inch shell. That was painful. Both DDs, please. Prepare to fire torpedoes in that direction. Just go aggressive, because there are quite a few targets. Even if you don't hit the main one, we can still hit virtually anything at that particular point. Torpedoes away from the Zheleznyakov. The Dobrovolets. Yeah, we're still going to target the same ship. I just hope that the Dobrovolets is able to get a decent torpedo angle. She is not. She needs to turn more. DDs, turn back. Victor is half flooded. Ooh. I have a substantial secondary armament on the Lenin, but I'm concerned about the amount of smaller ships that they have. That could be a substantial risk to my ship. Here's what's going to happen. They're going to detect the torps. They're going to start moving away. Oh, they're already moving away. Alright, in that case, do not torp anymore. Because you guys still have another... Zheleznyakov has another 1 salvo, and you have 2. Okay. They really pulled a number on that DD. Oh, sorry, on that cruiser. They've done 1800 damage already. Because it's also my destroyer that took a fair amount of damage there. Now, something that was said with this scenario, the amount of ships that remain at the end of the mission will affect later scenarios. So, ye be advised, don't lose too many ships. Because I will regret that later. I like the look of the 16s here. Brace for firing. Yeah, just caught them as they were shooting. Alright, where are my torpedoes? And what's their chance of getting detected and thus intercepted of sorts by the smaller ships? I think it's substantial. So let's focus all the guns on this light ship. High explosives. And with our torpedoes, we can't quite hit their biggest ships yet. I'm really hoping I can wipe out these 3 before they become a threat. Before they become a detector to my torps. Because I need those torps to pass through to continue on their merry way towards sinking a British battleship. Also, this is one of their lighter cruisers. I think. Yeah, 7-inch guns. No torpedo launchers visible. There we go. Come on, break out the 16s. Let's see. Yeah, they have detected the torps. Crap. The AI is fantastic at immediately warning every single ship in the formation to start turning away. When that happens, those torpedoes are not going to do anything. Iphigenia seems to be a bit smoky today. Stern is filling up quickly. Many bulkheads would mostly stop the flooding. But I think it could already be too late, especially since she's now unable to get away. Let's turn a bit more to port. Hope that the bow armor is going to stop any kind of incoming shells. See, there. They're turning away. The only one moving still is the Battlecruiser. If they catch a torpedo, great. But I kind of doubt it. Here are the torps. Well, they're gonna have to make a hard port course correction if they want to still catch a torpedo. There goes the Iphigenia. Secondary is in the Oak. Main's on the Battlecruiser. The Thunderer. Well, sounds about right. Standard complement of bulkheads. This Battlecruiser is heavier than my battleship. That's how much of a ship that is. 70% chance to pen. The Resolution, battleship, few bulkheads. I wonder, is it possible to flood these things out? What's my chance to pen the Battlecruiser? 70%. My chance to pen the battleship, about 40, but going up. Huh. Should switch out of high explosive immediately. Could you kindly wipe out the Oak? Because the Oak did launch torpedoes at me, but I wonder from what range. 12-3. If she launched them, she probably launched them a while ago. That ought to do it. No, she has maximum bulkhead. She'll live. Thunderer, however, is flooding. Something ate a torpedo. Oh, crap. She did launch. Oh, there goes my light cruiser. Hold on, I think it's time for some divine intervention here. Otherwise, we're going to run right into the torps. There goes the Oak. Well done. Alright. No, Cambrian. The Cambrian seemingly is going to push right into my torpedoes. Which is really where I do not want her to go. Those torpedoes were kind of meant for the Thunderer. The Thunderer, which, at this point, is taking a ton of damage. She's already halfway through her structural integrity. The Cambrian might not be my biggest concern. Let's turn to port. I know I'm opening myself up to more attacks here, but I have to risk it. Because the torpedoes from the Tumults could be more deadly. Oh, that was painful. That was 3 20-inch hits, doing well over 600 damage to my ship. Let's see if we can repay the favor. Yes, we can, but not as much. That was only 200 damage. Turn back. Secondaries in the Tumults. We can sort of safely ignore the Cambrian at this point. Heavy cruisers, engage the Cambrian. You're the natural predator to that ship, even though you only have a 50% chance to pen. It's less than I was hoping for. Naturally, I completely forgot about the destroyers. Bellerophon. Way too far away. 13 clicks. Pen chance is still going up, though. But the Thunderer... Oh, we might be able to knock out the Battlecruiser. That would be lovely. A bit more flooding and she'll fall. 6% buoyancy. 2 damaged engines are gonna really impede her ability to knock that flooding back down. Come on, Lenin, that was terrible. Improve that accuracy, please. 19% chance to hit the Thunderer. Missed! Close, but missed. We're fairly quickly cutting through the DDs, but the mission says sink all battleships, the battlecruiser, the heavy cruisers, and 2 of their transports, which signify both of their aircraft carriers. Come on. Thunder is still holding steady at 5%. I need to knock it out completely. If I don't, she will continue to fire at me with those 20s. One more hit. The Thunderer is heavily bladed. The other battleships, Bellerophon is 19 clicks out. The other one's even farther away, 19.6. I'm gonna have to come to starboard and just bring all guns to bear. A turret ready, B turret turning, X turret ready. Heavy cruisers at this point can rejoin and come back. The DD still have some way to go. Where are your torpedo launchers, Dimitri? Ah, there. Okay. There were only 12 something, right? Just torpedo that. The Pactolus. Structural integrity 38%. Buoyancy is okay, but we have one damaged engine, leading us to a mere speed of 14 knots. That's all we're gonna get. The Resolution and the Bellerophon, for some reason, are engaging, or trying to engage, the Dimitri. Which means that they're not shooting, because their solution's too bad. Fire on the Thunderer. Come on. One flooding hit, and we're done. One flooding hit. Hold the guns, please. There's another fire on the ship. Structural 34. The salvo flies out to meet the Thunderer. She is not angled. No! Everything missed. And not by a small margin either. That was 2 kilometers over the target. 2 kilometers wide. Keep pushing. Oh! Jesus. That was close. Ah! That's bad. Because now the battleships are going to go, the heavy... No, the light cruiser's done. Hold on, so now they're targeting the heavies? Sorry, that was not what I was expecting. We're still trying to lob shells at that. No, don't. Let's see if we can hit the Pactolus. I'm probably going to get ripped apart by 18-inch or 20-inch shells fairly soon. Another fire, structural then a 29. I need more than that. Doing some damage there to another light cruiser. I'm perfectly able to take this ship to battle and, well, get hit by a torpedo. And deal damage against their lighter ships. But against their bigger ships, I have problems. I'm struggling. Especially because they bring these huge guns. I mean, 16s aren't small, but the damage that my battleship has taken is substantial. The Thunderer is now 18 kilometers away. My chance to hit her is about 6%, and that's the same for her in reverse. We're not getting anywhere with that ship. Humor me. Fire all main guns at the transport. Just out of spite. Speed, still holding at 14 knots. The destroyers are back. Whoa! Well, that's one of their supposed aircraft carriers out of commission. Just the one, though. Where's the other one? Huh. Interesting. DDs are starting to burn up. We're now targeting a light cruiser with our mains. I need some really high amount of damage from the torpedoes in order to satisfy the kills on the battleships and the battlecruiser. And I don't see it happening. Especially with my 8-inchers going out of commission soon, since they're out of shells. And then I cannot chase down any other ships. Main guns on the battleship, please. On the Resolution. 2.5% chance to hit. And if I hit, I have a very good chance to pen. Let's make for a starboard turn, as we still can. Just to see if there are any torpedoes coming in. Heavies, I'm gonna task you with a difficult and dangerous mission. I need you to take out the light cruisers. That means potentially dodging torpedoes. Deal with it. The 8s are down to 60 and 32 rounds. That's all I have left. These battleships of theirs can do a maximum speed of 29 knots, so they're probably going that fast as well. Problematic. At the moment I have done more damage than I've taken. So their loss of the small ships is adding up to my damage, but their huge damage dealers are still alive. Even though barely. Thunderer could normally do 36 knots. Is now doing 12. How many shells do you still carry? 800? Increased ammo. No. Standard ammo for shells, but increased ammo for torps, which you don't carry. Alright. Heavy damage to the Tumult. For some reason the battlecruiser is really interested in taking down the heavy cruisers. For a reason that's not quite obvious. Range 17. Range 19. Main guns on the battlecruiser then. Who knows, maybe I got lucky. 10. 10. 9. The DDs are still having a really rough time of it. And there are smaller guns. Oh, the Thunderer dies! Beautiful. Did you get hit by another 16? Yes, you did. Good, that's one other mission critical ship out. Excellent work. Heavy cruisers are very much on their way to killing both the light cruisers here. Let's come to port to potentially evade any inbound torpedoes. Looks like that one is down. Now the Pactoculus. Sorry, the Pactolus. Rip her to shreds. Whoa, what happened to you? Oh, you got hit by a battleship. The battleship's 18-inch gun suddenly delivered almost 1,300 damage. Yeah, that's a bit more than I was hoping for. The Pactolus just did send out a few torpedoes. But at what angle? What was your intended path? Potentially this way, as the Victor was there at that point. Oh, no, 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 no. The Victor was not there. I was zigzagging so much that... yeah, crap. That I just wasn't sure. There goes another DD. Leaving me just the Dobrovolets. With our very, very few guns, I very much doubt my chances to kill the Trident. The only ship that could is the Lenin. The battleship itself. Tumult is down. Good. Damage done, 19. Damage taken, 13. With the loss of all of their small ships, with the exception of potentially one DD over there, the Nerissa, I think they would call off the offensive. Because they're taking a lot of losses throughout this whole action. But I'm starting to run out of shells and survivability. Neither of which are particularly appealing. And their battleships are very much staying in range. 6% chance to hit versus their 1% versus a DD? Why is the AI trying to kill a destroyer? That makes no sense to me. At least we sunk their biggest ship, their battlecruiser, with the 20-inch guns. I'm happy about that. Oh! I swear I had sonar on this. Sonar 1. You must have not minus 70%. Minus 78%. Yeah. Come on. 5% chance to hit. I simply don't have the shells available to fire at this long range with this terrible chance to hit. And the Bedford over there, a heavy cruiser, as well as the Powerful. They might not have shells left, but they still have torpedoes. In quintuple launchers. So they'll be throwing a lot of torps my way. That is not too appealing. Pushing in, I think, is the really only option that I have. As it's going to increase my chance to hit. Arguably, I don't need that many hits or pens on them because they have few bulkheads and they'll flood. Maybe they run out of shells. Or at least, like myself, go yellow and will stop firing. I think I still have to find a transport somewhere. But where that particular ship is, beats me. The only one who could catch it is the DD. Because I'm down to 14 knots and most transports can do 15. The Trident is more or less being engaged by the 5-inchers. Now I'm starting to regret putting the torpedo launchers on the bow and not having the 5-inchers there to back them up. 18... 19. About 6% chance to hit, but with a 44% chance to pen. In reverse, that's probably better. 40. Oh, actually, not so much better. 41. I think they're coming in at a high angle. 12 degrees. Not great, not terrible. Come on, get the Trident out of the way. Resolution 18 clicks out. Another DD? The Opportune is here. Lovely. That's not really what I was hoping to find. I was hoping to find the transport. Now my 1 DD can still do 30 knots. So if I play this well... Oh nice, we got a flooding. If I play this well, I might be able to intercept. Oh, they turn on a dime. 384 meter turning circle. And sonar 1. Uh-oh. They're running out of shells. It's bad for them, but good for me. Resolution, 90% buoyancy. Report speed. How fast are you going? Come on. No, that's their heavies. Here. 26 on the Resolution, 21 on the Bellerophon. Surprisingly, because the Resolution is the one that was flooded. Not too long ago. I'm still unclear as to why the battleships have suddenly taken such an interest in the destroyer. Because the destroyer is not doing much of anything. It just exists. It's not shooting. It's not really providing any spotting. Because the battleship knew exactly where their battleships were. But for some reason or another, both of the battleships and the heavy cruisers have selected the destroyer as the biggest threat. Which I don't quite get, because I'm 18 clicks out. Is it because the Dobrovolets is the closest ship? Could that be why? Uh-oh. Looks like they detached the Bedford and are sending that to me. Okay, bye. I'm not gonna party with that ship for too long. Any chance we can hit the Bedford? Because if we can wipe that thing out, maybe the destroyer has a better chance of getting in range. 2.5%. Oh! Instant hit. Lucky first salvo. The Trident is finally destroyed. That second salvo was terrible. This is not worth it. With the Dobrovolets scared away, it looks like the screening heavy cruisers are turning back. The hell? What do you want? We still got the Pactolus behind me. You're not really more than a nuisance. A nuisance that will burn me down, eventually. But that's not going to go down anytime soon. I'd really love it if I could get my engines back online. Because I'm down to 10 knots. I can scare them away. But that's about all that I can do. Because I simply don't have the damage output. I cannot keep up. I don't have the shells to continue to consistently deal damage to them. If I'm really lucky, I can flood out one. And it seems like the British are overall running away. But the mission objectives, no joy. Can still make a torpedo attack with the Dobrovolets. But I'm very much doubting whether my torpedoes will get anywhere near. 344. This heavy cruiser turns as quickly as that battleship. 384. Oh, it's 40 meters. But this thing is 13,000 tons. This thing is 57,000 tons. I'm impressed they can make something like that turn that quickly. Now the Bedford, I believe, will not target me yet. Well, they'll target me with their 9s. But they'll really only start to do damage with their 5s. So the Dobrovolets, for no other purpose than to annoy the Bedford, opens up with her 5-inch gunnery. Yeah, because that'll work. (13.8), 14.3. Oh, they are in torpedo range, but it's really on the edge of it. Another 5-inch hit against the Nerissa. That light cruiser is such a nuisance. Can my 5s take it out? No, because they don't have the range. Great. These guys are perfectly in the way. They will get the torpedo detection early, they will turn, and they will alert the battleships to any incoming torpedoes. So my chance to win this is round about 0. Nevertheless, I'm just curious to see what will happen. Let's see, based on their course, I think the AI is hesitant to launch the torpedoes. Because the Resolution is heading outside of torpedo range. I'm gonna have to get closer. 54 shells remain. Screw that ship. Oh dear. %. That's how much I have left. 6% structural. The Brovelet's currently 11.5 away. Target Bellerophon. Come to port. How much lead does the AI need for its torps? There we go. Come on, come on, come on. Make it work, make it work. These are sneaky torpedoes. No, sorry, they're not. Oh, these got a plus 15% visibility. That is not good. That is really not good, because that means that these guys are going to spot them even earlier than they normally would. So it means that they have even more opportunity to dodge. Now, it looks like I did mess up the heavy cruiser. Well done. That was the last salvo of the 16s by the looks of it. Here, the Powerful detects the torps. Start turning to port. The battleships immediately get warning and start turning. Yeah, this is done. If the British would have wanted to push their advantage, they could have killed the Lenin easily. But they decided that running away was apparently a better course of action. Alright, well, I'm going to say that the Lenin has survived. But so have the Bellerophon and the Resolution. They still have their 2 heavy cruisers. They lost 1 transport, i.e. a carrier, but I lost 2 heavy cruisers, as well as 2 light cruisers and 1 destroyer. The Brovelets and Lenin will return to port, and considering that we have the Brits on the run, it could be construed as a victory, but I will leave that up to HiBACONBOMB, who created the scenario. Hope you guys enjoyed the battle. Unfortunately, I couldn't complete it, but there might be hope yet. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon for more videos.